up with the Cowboys. The D in Big D stands for a Dak disaster. Is the season over in Dallas before it's even begun? Then Green Bay, the Packers' worst nightmare, came absolutely true on Sunday. Can even Aaron find a way to rescue this roster? And it was the game of the year already. But what did it mean? Did it cost the winning team their season? Oh, so much to do as the team is back together again. Look at the Monday squad. Let's go. Orlovsky is here. RC is here. I love everybody. Ryan is here. I have missed these Mondays. And I tell you what, it was like a football lifetime in one afternoon yesterday. And then the night came. Let's do it. We begin with the Cowboys and the Buccaneers. Dan, game of the night until it started. The Brady and the Bucs. Prescott and the Cowboys at AT&T Stadium. Second quarter, 3rd and 10 Dallas. Dak, what?
Yeah, Greeny, he's got to move the pocket. It's zone defense, though. He's got a bunch of eyeballs on him. Throws that into a team meeting. Easy interception. If he doesn't get it, somebody else will. Bad decision to start that game for Dak Prescott.
A few minutes later, 3rd and 3 inside the 5. Hey, RC, how about Micah Parsons?
Micah Parsons is an absolute animal. You get him one-on-one, he's going to make a play. 2 sacks on 2 separate drives, back-to-back.
Bucs kick a field goal. They're up 9-3. Next Tampa drive, 1st and 10. This is devastating, Dan. Chris Godwin.
Yeah, not good to see. You saw he came back, and your concern is, did he come back too soon? He gets up and immediately says, I'm out of that football game. I'm hoping 14's okay. Such a big part of their offense.
Late in the half. Hey, Rex Ryan. Julio Jones looking pretty good.
Yeah, are you kidding me? Tennessee's like, where the hell were you when we could have used you last year? I don't recognize that guy. He looks way different. Good to have him back.
48 yards later in the drive. It's Brady for Rashad Perriman. Brady did not look sharp, Dan.
You're trying to see he's moving the coverage, and Trayvon Diggs plays underneath, forces that high throw. That's more of a good coverage by Dallas than a missed throw by Tom Brady.
Another field goal, 12-3 Tampa at the half. 3rd quarter. Bucs finally getting it moving, and this time it's Mike Evans.
Yeah, you see this slant here. Evans does a great job of using his body in between the quarterback and the defender. I love the throw by Tom Brady. Allow Big 13 to use his frame.
And then he finally gets in the end zone, the first Tampa touchdown.
Love the cut split to give space, and then the slap at the line of scrimmage to win, and then the ball, the ability to track that football by Evans and make that catch.
You can't cover that.
We've seen it so many times.
Trayvon Diggs, that ain't your fault.
So it's 19-3, and you think, well, things can't get worse for Dallas. Boy, would you be wrong. Dak Prescott, the thumb. We've got issues. Dan, take a look.
Biggest concern, right? Fading away, that thumb's going to get hit, and you're going to see him start to motion towards it like something's not right. 2 plays later, he throws a shallow cross right here. It gets hit again, and then you see that initial hit right on it by Shaq Barrett. That's that rush. Always a concern. Dak Prescott knew right away he's coming to the sideline. Something's not right.
And take a look at McCarthy. You can almost see on his face the moment that he realizes just how bad this injury is. A disaster for the Cowboys. Tampa wins. Jerry, what?
This was a really tough night for the Cowboys, but and a really a surprising night. But of course, really add to it right there at the end to lose him for several weeks. It's the first game. Real disappointed before Dak's injury. Certainly disappointed after.
Yeah, I mean, just not what you want to hear, but it's not the worst thing that's happened to me. Yeah, it's just another bump in the road, and I'll keep moving forward. As I said, I'll do everything that I can control to get myself back, to get myself better, help this team, and be the best I can in this role.
But if you're just waking up, you may not have heard the outcome. Todd Archer, our Cowboys reporter, tweeting that Dak is expected to have surgery and miss 6 to 8 weeks. He will meet with the team's hand specialist today. Sources say he'll have a pin and a plate inserted to stabilize the joint. So that is the news on Dak and Dallas. Rex Ryan, what does it mean?
Season's over for Dallas. That's what it means. And they're not, the coach is going to go in there. He's going to spin it a way different way. But to me, you lose your best player, Dak Prescott, on offense. There's no way in hell. Look, it was a struggle anyway. The pass protection, the lack of weapons. And now you lose Dak Prescott? Nah, I'm done.
RC, what do you think?
The season was over before Dak Prescott got hurt. Listen, one of my kids' favorite movies is The Cat in the Hat. and the Cat in the Hat ruins this dress, and this girl's like, you ruined Mom's dress. And he was like, it was ruined when she bought it, honey. And that's exactly what was going on with the Dallas Cowboys last night. You know, there was a little semblance of a run game, but they couldn't get separation in the pass game. CeeDee Lamb didn't look like a #1 receiver, and that run defense was porous. Other than Micah Parsons making some plays and Trayvon Diggs being who he was, you didn't see a lot of this from this team that gave you life if you were the Dallas Cowboys. We knew they would struggle with some things coming into the season, and I feel like everything we felt they'd struggle with offensively, we saw a little bit of that last night.
Oh, by the way, they committed 10 penalties last night. That'll get very
that's who they are.
Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys are who we thought they were. They're on pace for 170 penalties this year. Dan, but let's focus on Dak for a minute, because everything is obviously obscured by that. What?
Trade for Tyler Huntley. If I was the Dallas Cowboys, that would be the phone call I would make. It would not be to San Francisco for Jimmy Garoppolo. I would call Baltimore and trade for Tyler Huntley. I totally agree. If they don't make a move, their season is over. But their upcoming schedule is not awful. This is not a division that is absolutely loaded, nor a conference that is incredibly high end. Tyler Huntley's a player that has proven to be a pretty good talent. This is, what games do we sit here and say they got no shot in? Maybe at Rams. We watched Green Bay yesterday and it played poorly. The Eagles' defense didn't look awesome against the line. So Tyler Huntley's a player that's had some good moments. RC, I agree with you. The offensive line could not protect. He's mobile enough to cover that up. They ain't got weapons. Well, they're going to have to kind of maneuver their offense schematically to make it work. Here's the reality. If the Cowboys don't make a move, or at least try to, legitimately, everybody in the organization is going, we're done. Hey, Micah Parsons, don't matter. Marcus Lawrence, don't matter. CeeDee Lamb, don't matter. We're done. If they do, they got a chance to save the season. But it ain't going to be with Cooper Rush.
But it ain't going to be with Huntley either.
No?
Because,
Why not?
no, hell
Baltimore
no.
ain't gonna give him up.
No, the number one, the future of your, there are two reasons why.
Okay.
The future of your football team has Dak Prescott at quarterback, not anybody else, okay? That's number one. You think Baltimore's going to give up, a guy that could be the future of their football team down the road? No chance.
But at what
and
point,
what are you going to, you're going to mortgage your future to get a backup quarterback. Because it's going to cost you at least 2 first-round picks. It ain't going to happen.
I'm not aware of what it's going to cost them. I don't think it costs you 2 first-round picks. And I get your Baltimore point, but here's the grim reality. This is the second injury that's going to take a chunk of season time away from Dak Prescott in 3 years. So at some point, the Cowboys organization has to look at it as a whole and say, dang, our starter's been down 2 out of the last 3 years.
We aren't sitting here Monday morning when Dak Prescott gets hurt and say that there's no way that they can win. Even with seeing what Cooper Rush was able to do last year against Minnesota, you're not expecting that week in and week out.
Not with this roster.
Especially with the deficiencies on this offense already.
Exactly.
They do have to make a move, and Jerry has to be aggressive in making a move so the locker room knows he believes in this roster as long as they have somebody that can play quarterback.
Oh, by the way, I heard tell from a fellow by the name of Michael Jordan that Tom Brady played last night as well. Rex, how about it? I mean, whoever would have thought that Brady's first game at the age of 45 with a big win on the road would be completely obscured, but that seems to be what's happened here. The Godwin injury is devastating.
Devastating. And here's the thing, and Dan and I talked about it earlier, was when you have a hamstring, this can linger all year. 100%. And that's the thing about when I heard that, oh, he may play or whatever, I was like, don't do it. Don't do it. Make sure he's 100% back.
Did you once have this problem with Ray Lewis?
Yeah, I did. And unfortunately, Ray asked, well, what do you think? I'm like, oh, hell yeah, you got to play. And then he popped it from the bone. We lost him for the rest of the year.
So they rushed him back.
They rushed him back. And clearly this is a thing. And I know it's hindsight. But it was hindsight, too, when with the Ray Lewis deal, and I lost him for a season. So these hamstrings they can linger for the whole season. So this is a huge loss because, quite honestly, outside of Mike Evans, did he have anybody else to throw to?
He had Julio Jones, the fountain of youth.
Hey, listen, Julio Jones is one of those players that we feel like when he's healthy, we understand what he can do. And we're seeing wide receivers play well late into their careers. And the great thing about having Godwin was you didn't need Julio every play. Like, no one was expecting Julio to be an every down wide receiver for 17 games. And so I believe that's the thing that scares you. The other piece of